So here I was listening to my friends playing the Minecraft Pixel mod on Discord, while I was just on my phone playing Fire Emblem Heroes.
Fire Emblem!
And then I saw this. And the hype was real. From a few screenshots I saw, plus the detail about it having rollback netcode, was already enough to sell me on it. Also, while editing, they released a new trailer for the game, and yeah, it looks great. It looks beautiful. But here's the thing. I've never played one of the Melty Blood games. Now, I already have my eyes on two other fighting games that's coming out this year, but the thing is, my favorite fighting game of all time is Under Night In-Birth. And even if I haven't played Fighting Climax, I have played Mugen. It's not the same, but it's something. However, I do have Melty Blood on Steam, so I thought, why not? So installed it, and after playing it, here's my opinion of the game. Also, I just want to say I can't give it a complete fair review, since I haven't put in as many hours as others who have put over 100 plus hours on this. But these are my initial thoughts on it, so let's get started. When I started up the game, I got treated to the game's opening, and even though I haven't played the game, I have heard the opening before, both the original and the remix for Under Night. And it's a banger. It's a fine opening and all, but the opening shows its age, showing a bunch of portraits and PNGs with some 3D models just moving around the background. Once it's over, the title screen pops out and I press a button and... it's so quiet. And I just needed to check if there was something wrong with the audio. I went to the option and... okay, so it was a design choice. That was weird. Also, I had to turn off the character filter that was on. The music in the background was nice though. But that's about the negative I have about the presentation for this game. The character select screen is simple but effective. The stages are beautiful. There's no stage I dislike, minus Lord Cat Company, but that's mostly because of the music, not the stage itself. My favorite stages were Through the Looking Glass, Good Morning Amnesia Murdery, the park levels, and, well, mostly the nights and evening/morning levels. And the pixel art is just great. The sprite work is so smoothing, there's not a single character that looks bad. The only character I can say I was a little bit distracted by was Chaos, who, when they did their specials, it just changed the size of their sprites. But overall, every character's sprites looks great, but speaking about the characters. So, I have a lot of things to say about this roster. For starters, 31 characters on the roster, that's a good roster size. Now, some characters are just reused for separate characters. I mean, look at all the mates for examples. But even then, everyone feels unique. If you were to ask me who my favorite character is and who I'm considering my main, it would probably be Parciel. She was the one I had most fun with. But I also had fun with Archetype Earth, Michael, Arcred, all the Akias, Strydberg, and there were some other characters I also found enjoyment besides them. Now, hearing that, I should really like this roster then, right? And I do, don't get me wrong. But I don't like every version of them. See, when I said there were 31 characters, that was a lie. There's 93 characters. Let me explain. Seeing these moon styles, when I first saw it, I thought it was like the grooves from Capcom vs SNK. But nope, it's not. Well, it does kinda work like the grooves from the game, but it also gives characters different movesets, and they can go from minimal changes to entire new moves. And now you might get it. Even if I like Michael, there's only one version of him I like. Now, that doesn't sound too bad, but there's some characters I would like even more than I just do now. Valencia is a fine character, but my favorite moves from him are from two different styles. And now, in a vacuum, that might not sound too bad, But you must understand, when I understood how styles worked, I had to replay all the characters. So I spent hours in trainer mode, trying every character in every style. I didn't even get to experiment with some characters as much as I did with others. But thanks for doing so, I found some characters I liked that I wouldn't otherwise. But even then, that's 31 characters times 3. Imagine if you played Street Fighters, you wanted to do a hurricane kick. You got your Hadouken and your focus attack, but instead of doing a hurricane kick, you did a flying kick instead. You tried another style. The Hadouken changed to a different type of Hadouken, but the hurricane kick is still just the flying kick. Okay then, try the third style. And bam, there you have it. You finally got your hurricane kick. But now the Hadouken is just a stronger kick. And the focus attack? It's just gone. Not replaced by anything. Just gone. That's how style feels in this! I bet there are people out there who picked a character they would have loved to play otherwise. Maybe even being their favorite character in the game. But because they happened to pick the wrong style, they never gave their character a second chance. I would much rather have 31 characters with more inputs. In an ideal world, I would be able to choose which move I wanted to have on a character, but I understand alone that would be a nightmare for the devs to balance. By looking at the screenshots, it looks like the styles will make a return. Even if it's just be 10 characters on the starting roster, that might as well be 30. Unless they worked more like the grooves, but I doubt that. I also just want to say I don't mean that I don't like when characters have multiple options. I mean, King of Fighters 13 does it as well with Iyuri and Mr. Karate. But the thing is, they don't do it with every single character. They do it with few characters. Like, imagine if you played King of Fighters 13, but every character has 3 versions of themselves. No thanks. Arcade mode in this is a 9-level road with a unique boss at the end. I haven't played through all the arcade modes, but from what I saw, I liked it well enough. I like the character interactions, for example. You can never have anything wrong with characters having interaction with each other. Some were better than others, of course. When I played Archetype Earth's arcade mode, not only did I have 3 extra fights after the final boss, but in the last one, I controlled Arcade instead. I thought that was super cool and something I'd never seen in a fighting game before. I thought it was very neat. The boss of this game is Dust of Osiris and Hermes. It was good enough for a boss. It works well enough, but the unblockable ult can be annoying at times. Especially since you can't even attack Hermes while he's charging it. Still, the arcade mode is well enough. The music is great, like I said before. Actors Against and the option menu and the character select were already some good music for me. And the stage music was also good. The stage is perfectly fine. But even after saying that, I do wish there was a way to select the music you were fighting to. Like I said, the stage music fit perfectly well, but that's also a positive and a negative. In an ideal world, I would be able to select which music I wanted to play for each stage, but I understand why they wouldn't implement it, and it's just a small gripes I have. Still, it's a very good soundtrack. Give it a listen to if you haven't. Unlike my Triangle Strategy video, I only used music from this game in this review, just to show how good the soundtrack can be. Overall, it's a very well made fighting game. I can see why it still has a fan base behind it after 10 years since no new game. Will this become one of my new favorite fighting games? No, not really, but I don't think it really needed to be. I had a lot of fun playing it, but I don't think I will play this fighting game over other fighting games. Unless someone I knew wanted to play it, of course. Even then, after playing this, I'm more hyped for the new Melty Blood game and will definitely check it out when it comes out. Or, well, depends on if it will get a PC port or not. Anyway, I do recommend playing this game. If you just have a slight less interest in it, you might enjoy it. this is the best time to get into the series if you're planning to get Lumina. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you later. Bye! Also, I plan to play a few online matches just to make jokes about how I couldn't wait for rollback to be the norms in fighting games. But well, God, I hope Lumina has a consistent player base when it comes out.